This presentation I will be wiring in a one-touch calling kit that will allow this phone to turn a 4A speakerphone on and wait for dial tone and then dial a call. I will have to use a line that has a precise tone on it. It will not recognize the step-by-step because the tone detector is looking for a 350 Hertz tone, and step-by-step does not use 350. This is the Touch-a-Matic 32 minus the handset, of course, with the shell on. I have the outside ring removed and the faceplate. So here's the inside of the Touch-a-Matic 32. I'll remove the memory module. And this is the memory module. This memory module is a very early memory module, as the integrated circuit chip that's on the back is one of the very first generation Western Electric chips. In this case, it would be a memory chip. This is the largest integrated circuit that I've ever seen that Western Electric had manufactured for this age. Then, with the memory removed, we have a button assembly that's not a touch tone pad, that's just a matrix dial. We have a power board. These are the connectors for the memory board from the power rectifier board. This space here is where the battery would normally go. And then of course it has a trendline type ringer, the buzzer, hook switch assembly, a very old 425 type network, and the one-touch switch will be installed here. And then we have the loop detecting relay that will be installed here. And then we have the 350 Hertz dial tone detector that will mount on the side inside of the phone. All of the leads from here, here, and here connect to the screw terminals under the dial assembly, and I will show that in a moment. So we have the metal ring and the dial assembly, matrix dial, removed so you can see the power board. This is a standard 2851 key strip with an additional switch on here. So when you change from one line to another line to another line, you clear out anything that was in the memory, such if you use the last number redial, you want it to only dial the call that when you change from one line to another, you don't want to be dialing and then hit redial and have a misdial because you have a partial number. So this switch is very important to have. The power supply board has a lot of straps in here that will be removed when we add the dial tone detector, which is this right here, and it will be mounting right here inside of the phone. And then the switch, and then we have the dial. This is just a matrix dial. There's no electronic components on it. It's only switches. And the memory unit is what is producing the tone in this particular case. So I've added the loop module, of course. The dial tone detector is now wired in, and the switch to enable or disable the one-touch calling. The next thing is to connect power and a speakerphone to this to see if it works. I have installed the new one-touch speakerphone kit in this 2872 A1M 6-button phone. These kits can be a real pain to install depending on what options you have, what options you want, and what model of phone it is. I kind of refer to this as performing open heart surgery without an anesthesiologist standing by. It's not an enjoyable experience. I've probably worked on 25 to 30 of these phones that in various stages of disrepair, and every one of them has been a challenge. You have to have the correct schematic for the particular phone at that moment, and sometimes the components do not age well and they fail. In this case, this was a brand new, never used Virgin 6-button phone with a brand new kit of parts for the One Touch. I'll go off hook and manually dial a number, and we will hear my time of day. Then I will hang up and One Touch this.
The current time is 2:24 p.m. Pacific Time. Temperature 52 degrees.
I have the hook switch temporarily in the down position to be on the speakerphone.
The current time is 2:24 p.m. Pacific Time. Temperature 52 degrees.
That was last number redial One Touch.
2:24 p.m. Pacific Time. Temperature 52 degrees.
I'll program a number into memory, and then I will One Touch it. With the line key selected, the speakerphone off, I will make a One Touch call. The dial tone detector in these phones will only detect the 350 Hertz tone, which is part of the precise dial tone, such as what we have today in the modern world, which is two tones mixed together. 350 and 440 creates the modern dial tone that we're familiar with. This phone is sitting on my workbench with a step-by-step switching system directly behind us, and it does not have a precise tone. So this detector will not detect the dial tone in a step-by-step. So this function will only work in equipment that has modern tones. I will unplug the power to this and then show you the inside of the phone, and then the last clip will be the phone fully reassembled. Here's the loop detector, dial tone detector, the memory board PCB, and the matrix dial that plugs in to a connector on the power board and pins onto the memory board. The ribbon cable connects to the double set of pins in the memory board. Due to the fact that the batteries are beyond dead in these phones, I've bypassed or I should say I put a strap in for the phone to think that there's a battery in there, and that'll work fine until you remove the power from it. Then it loses its memory. And also here's the switch to turn the One Touch kit off and on. Here's the phone with the faceplate removed. This phone is old enough that the faceplate is part of the retaining ring as well. The later generation phones had a ring and a flat faceplate. There's the side view of the faceplate. I believe this was one of the very first generation Touch-a-Matic 32s. They made these in touch tone and rotary dial. Single line, multi-line, and then adjuncts that would wire into standard type telephones. This has got 32 memory locations. This is the PC board out of the speakerphone connecting block. I had to add a temporary strap on this connector in order to make the one-touch calling work. This is listed in the Bell System practices, but it's not as straightforward as a person would think. Without that strap, the one-touch will not function correctly. There are two separate power supplies for the Touch-a-Matic 32 and the 4A speakerphone. On the left side, we have a 95B1 that is marked 13.5 volts AC, and then the speakerphone needs an 85B1, which is 18 volts AC. You do not want to get these backwards, otherwise you will end up burning up the Touch-a-Matic 32 and or underpowering the 4A speakerphone. So Jim, here's your phone, all ready to go. All you have to do is add the handset.